Good afternoon, everybody. Please let me know if you can hear me. Okay, fantastic. All right. Yes, great. So let's start. My name is Odusola Opeyemi, and I am super happy to be here to share my knowledge and to share my experience. I think this is a really great collaboration between I and Smartpreneur because I'm very passionate about helping businesses thrive. So I have a mission to help 1,000 business owners grow their businesses, and then when I get to the number 1,000, I can start chasing the next 100,000. But the work is ongoing already, and it's one of the reasons why I'm really excited to be here. If you don't know what Smartpreneur is a platform that supports businesses in general through exposure, business support, and other platforms such as this. Smartpreneur has been in existence for a couple of years, and Smartpreneur runs on a couple of TV stations, and so many great and successful business people have been on the platform. MDs of banks, owners of multi-million and billion naira organizations in the country have all been there. So yes, this might be free, but it's a really big deal. So sometimes I wonder why I'm so passionate about this work that I do, but every time I think about it, I realize that it's probably because I grew up watching my mom be a serial business person. My mom, owned poultry farms, she owned a pig farm at some point. She sold clothes, food, drinks. She's had an experience center where people can come and play games, and so many businesses. Some of them thrived, some of them failed. I was also influenced by that spirit, that entrepreneurial spirit that my mom had. I am also a business person myself, and apart from that, I also found myself in marketing, which means I got first or first row seats to see how businesses should be run, to know the kind of things that can help businesses thrive and the kind of practices that can kill businesses. This webinar is very important because running the business in Nigeria right now has never been more difficult. Because of the economic situation, there are less jobs. I mean, we all hear how lots of companies are laying off people, and then people are having to run to starting a business, and the ones that even have 9-to-5s are doubling their hustle by having side businesses on the side. So for every business that you have, there's 1,000,001 competition. Now, let's get into the meat of it. We're going to be discussing how to increase sales in 2024. If I were you, I'd have pen and paper handy. At the end of this session, I'm going to give a couple of minutes to answer your questions and take some feedback. Right. So let's get into it. Building a successful business, as far as I'm concerned, is like attending a Nigerian wedding. You have to bring your A game. You have to have thick skin for unwanted drama, and you have to be prepared to dance all night. And what do I mean by that? If you get an invite to a Nigerian wedding, first thing that you want to do is to know, you have to know the people that are getting married, or you have to be somebody's plus one. You want to know the venue. You want to know if it's a wedding that you have to travel outside of the states or the country for those that have the money. You have to know what the costume is, the color, right? And then when you even get there are certain, almost some unavoidable drama when you get to these things. Maybe they didn't let you in, or they're serving food. The caterers keep skipping your table. They're not bringing food. You ordered for this food. They brought a different kind of food. Somebody's dancing and stepped on your shoes. You know, it, like so many factors that can ruin the experience. But because you know why you are there for a wedding. You are there to have a good time. So you have to stick to the end. Now, the way that applies to a Nigerian wedding is the same way it applies to running a business. And then, as you know, in Nigerian weddings now, or any Nigerian Owambe, there's an order of events. And like we all joke, when it gets to item 7, we all know item 7 is food. But this is all of this knowledge that I'm sharing is food. So please. Right. So we're going to be talking about minding your business. We're also going to be touching on understanding your target audience. We're going to discuss how important it is for you to have a compelling brand story. If you don't know what a brand story is, I'm also going to be going into details. We're going to talk about how to leverage the power of available marketing channels and the kinds of marketing and the types of marketing channels. And we're also going to discuss probably one of the most important things, creating a seamless customer experience. Please, if you have any questions along the line or whatever, please just let me know. Right. Minding your business. First of all, is absolute foolishness for someone to wake up and say, you know what, I'm thinking of starting a food business, and all of a sudden the food business just is up. You have to do some research, right? You need to know, first of all, even away from food business, first of all, what do you sell, or what do you want to sell? I want to sell food. I want to sell clothes. I want to open a school. I want to start a dispatch or logistics business. I want to go into skincare, whatever it is that you want to sell. The second most important thing should be, why do you want to sell, or why do you sell? I'm going to come to the brand story bits later. Also, another important question is, where do you sell? Do you have an online store? Do you have a physical store? Right? Is your store mobile? For example, there are people who sell clothes. Some people have online stores. Some people have stores that you can walk in, and some people put all the clothes in their cars and then drive around to different locations, going to meet their customers. There's that too. How much do you sell? And that's price. When it comes to marketing, there are a couple of P's: price, the place, and other P's. Some they say there are 4 P's, they say there are 7 P's. But I'm just simplifying it for you. Then, what problem does your business solve? What problem does your business solve? I mean, yeah, there has to be a reason why you want to sell it. Oh, I want to sell food here. I want to sell food because I've realized that in this location nobody sells food. So you need to be able to answer that question. And then also, is my business competing with other businesses? And what that means is, all right, so remember we spoke about the location earlier now, right? Where do you sell? Okay, so in this location that I'm in, how many other restaurants or food sellers are there? You get, is my business competing with other businesses? Okay, I sell food, but the shop beside my shop doesn't sell food. They sell biscuits and soft drinks. It's a competition. They might not be selling food. If people don't want to eat food, they can eat snacks. And then what is the competition doing? So you do your research, you know what the competition is doing, you find out what they're saying. I'll give you guys a quick example. A relative decided to open a shop where where they sell drinks, right? They sell cold drinks, wholesale, water, and all that. And to attract people, because directly opposite that shop, there was someone who also sells drinks. To the left, there's someone that sells drinks. Like the whole area is filled with people who sell drinks. It's not like Computer Village or Alaba Market or Oshodi Market where you go, brother, what do you want to buy? And start going to haggle for customers. In that kind of business, you have to wait and make the customer come to you, right? And there are certain factors that will make the customer come to you. One, how much do you sell your product? Is your drink cheaper than other drink? Is your drink more original than other drinks? Why do you sell drinks? You understand? Like, what is the story? So back to the story I was saying, and the person now decided that, okay, you know, because I want to make some noise, I want people to, when they're walking past this road, I want my business to be, you know, to be prominent. So she decided to buy a snooker table, and then, I mean, like clockwork, people started coming to play. People started coming to play snooker, right? They play snooker and they were drinking. But the amount of people that were coming to play snooker was not also a lot, which also meant that the amount of people coming to drink wasn't a lot. But it was a slight improvement from where the business was before the snooker came into play. So the person did some research and said, you know what, let me go around this vicinity to see how many snooker shops exist around here and how much people pay to play a game of snooker. So they found out that everywhere else people paid 500 naira to play snooker. So the person was like, okay, great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own snooker price 300 naira. When that happened, the moment, so I'll make it 300 naira. The person did a signage, put it outside, and said snooker for 300 naira. What that meant was your snooker became much cheaper than everybody's snooker, right? So everybody in the area started coming there to play snooker, which means you now have a lot more prospective customers that would buy your drinks. So in minding your business, these are questions that you need to ask. You need to do due diligence. Some time ago, someone reached out and said, "Oh, I want to start selling clothes." And I said, "Okay, where do you want to start selling the clothes?" She said, "I want to start selling the clothes on so road." These roads that you want to go and be selling the clothes, there are at least 30 boutiques in there. Why exactly do you want to go and be competing? It's not like an Oshodi. This is like a normal road in Nigeria. Before anybody would come and, just try and look at the competition, look at the business landscape to be able to come up with your own marketing strategy. And then for marketing strategy, we're also going to speak to that. Before I go too far, once again, please let me know if you can hear me, so I know I'm not talking to myself. You can just raise your hand to acknowledge. Fantastic. Right. So I proceed. Now that's that about minding your business. Coming back to minding your business, you remember in this list it is what do you sell, why do you sell, where do you sell, and who do you sell to. Who do you sell to is super duper. I cannot overemphasize how important your audience is. Now, you have to understand your audience. Understanding your target audience, like I said, as you can see here in this small note I put up, is the foundation for effective marketing strategy. Now, how do I mean? One, what is your customer? Your customer is whoever it is that comes to buy your market. Abi? Right. For every customer, beyond just their names, there are certain information about them that can also help you to tailor how you want to go about your business. That can also help you tailor how to increase sales. How old is this customer? Right? How old is the customer? Where does the customer live? How much does the customer earn? What is the customer's ethnic group? I'll give you an example. Just based on demography alone. How old is the customer? Let's say you have a business that is into gaming, right? You have a game center. You can't go and put your game center in an environment that is filled only with older people, right? Because they're not gonna come and play. In Nigeria, gaming is still a very niche community, and there's usually like an age range for it. Once people start getting to the age of 35, they stop gaming because life starts to happen to them. They have to work more to support their families, and then they have less time for gaming. In fact, some people even see people who are interested in gaming at an older age as unserious people or as childish people. You also need to understand the location. You want to sell demography is like going to start up a what example. All right, I don't know. It's like going to start up a business somewhere that the road is very, very bad, right? People are going to find it difficult to find their ways to your organization, to your shop, to your business, right? So you'll be doing yourself a disservice. Once you have this knowledge, once you understand the demography, where they live, you know how to catch them. Financial situation, how much do they earn? You cannot decide to start advertising G-Wagon to somebody that lives in Ajegule. Like, duh. You get what I mean? Ethnic groups. There are foods that only Northerners can relate to. There are foods that only Yoruba people can relate to. You want to open an Amala joint in somewhere in Kaduna that is predominantly Northern. Like only you will be eating your Amala. You might get a few customers, but they're not going to be as much because you are doing a good business, but the location is just wrong. Yes. Now down to psychography, and these are also psychography. So demography deals with mostly numbers, so the age, where they live, how much they earn, the ethnic group is on the surface stuff. Psychography is a little deeper than that. Psychography is the personality, right? Are they introverts? Are they extroverts? Their values? Are they Christians? You understand? Are they Muslims? Muslims are forbidden. Islam forbids taking of alcohol. Then you want to go and open a beer parlor somewhere that is filled with predominantly Muslim people. Like, you have to be deceiving yourself. Opinions, attitudes, interests, and lifestyle. Again, I'm still going to go deeper into this, but if you need to pull me back, please just have your question ready so that I'm going to answer it. So, again, like I said, understanding your target audience is the foundation for effective marketing strategies. Once you understand your target audience, they are young, they are savvy. Let me give a good and simple example. Let's say, for example, we have a customer named Babatunde, right? Babatunde is Babatunde loves football. It means that Babatunde either watches football or plays football, or maybe even bets on football, right? It means that for Babatunde to be an avid lover of football, Babatunde probably has one or two football jerseys, or every time a new football season starts, teams refresh their kits. Babatunde already has it. So Babatunde is an ideal customer for you to market your jersey business to. You don't want to market your jersey business to somebody who has not the slightest care for football. They're not going to buy, right? Although there are people who, among the target audience of people who you want to sell, who you want to patronize your jersey your jersey selling business. Some people might not really care about the football fan, but they might like the jersey for the comfortability, and for style purposes. But that again is a niche. That's even now a niche market, right? And the reason why one of the reasons why it's also very important to know your customer is to be able to speak their language, to understand their needs, right? What do they need? What can you offer them to make their life better? Oh, there are people that live in this estate, but every time they have to go outside the estate, they have to trek all the way from wherever they are because there's no keke or shuttle to take them to the gates. Everybody in that estate is your customer. Then you decide that okay, their pain points is transportation from the gates to their homes. So let me start a transportation business that can convey them from the gates or from their houses or to and fro. You can't have that kind of insight if you don't question the customer. And then also, it also helps you to be able to speak their language, both literally and figuratively. You want to sell a product to a customer who does not understand English. But when you understand that, okay, this person does not understand English, the person communicates better in his or her vernacular, in his or her local language, you'll be able to tailor your marketing. You'll be able to tailor your marketing endeavors using the person's language. And that's why when you listen to radio, sometimes you hear there are radio stations that are predominantly for Yoruba people. Then you tune into those radio stations and they're speaking Yoruba, and then the ads that you hear on the radio are rendered in Yoruba as well. That's because they know that if you want to capture this target Yoruba speaking audience, this is where we need to go to, right? And then also, you also need to understand, when you also understand the customer, what works for A will not work for B. Like down here in Lagos, for example, right? Most of the time is the women in an ideal family, in the average family, father, mother, 1 or 2 kids, 3, 4, 5 kids if they have the money. But down here, most of the time, it's the women that go to the market. But down in the north, it is the men that go to the market, but it is the women that cook. So once you understand these local nuances and the way everything works, based on their location, based on their lifestyle, based on their values, you'll be able to understand your target audience properly and, provide solutions that speak directly to them. Now, if you were to one thing I see on social media that's always very funny to me is, I see it in a lot of memes. They say, if you're using an Android phone, you cannot collect my number. Or I like the guy, but you're using an Android phone. This could be us, but you're using an Android phone. So it is a very popular misconception that Android phones are inferior to iPhones, which is not true at all. The only reason why that is because Apple has built their brand, they have built their products to tell a story of superiority, right? They've told their story to say, if you're using an Apple, you are better than your neighbor. Also, because Nigeria also has this whole, I'm better than my neighbor, I better pass my neighbor mentality. So the truth is, there are Android phones that are more expensive than iPhones. I've always been an iPhone user. I used a lot of Android. I currently use iPhone mostly because of I have a lot of Apple products, and and the ability to synchronize between all of them. I can send files from my Apple Watch to my phone to my MacBook. Is one of the reasons why I don't use an Android phone. I don't discriminate. But you see, that story, that brand story, is the reason why people will keep coming back. Now, what a brand story does for you is, one, it helps people to trust you if they know what you stand for. So your brand story is what will help people, is what people will know your business for, right? And recognition. And your brand story can be so many different things. It can be your logo, it can be your color. Take for example, when it comes to banks and you see the color orange, everybody knows it's GTB, is it not? When it comes to telecom companies, when you see the color yellow, everybody knows it's MTN. When it comes to ride-hailing apps, Bolt, Uber, everybody knows Bolt is green, right? Bolt has its own kind of green. And then even down to their advertising, you see how they use those particular colors so that once everybody sees, they know it's a GT ad. You don't even have to say too much, right? So one is your logo has to stand out. Your logo has to reflect your brand values and also resonate with your target audience. Two, you need to develop a consistent brand voice. The language that you're speaking has to be consistent. If your brand is a brand that communicates in pidgin, uses slangs, you keep it that way. Don't be a pidgin and colloquial / informal speaking brand today, and then tomorrow you are communicating like it is the British royal family that is talking. You're going to confuse your customers. And then also, what makes your business stand out? What is that one thing that everybody that you have that no other business has? There's always something. One of the perfect examples for this is fastcakes.com. I don't know if anybody knows about fastcake.com, but the first time I heard the radio ad, I didn't have to wonder what fastcake.com means. I mean, the name is just there, right? They've been able to put that one thing that business is all about, that makes them, unique. They've been able to use it as part of the name. And then also, even the name of your business needs to make sense, right? Where I was living, there was this fashion shop, and the name of the business is Shabby Fashion Home or something. I don't know, maybe the name of I don't know, maybe the owner of the business, her name is Ashabi or something. But when you put Shabby behind your business name, like, first thing that comes to mind is, I can imagine that this person's business will be shabby. Or if I come to your shop and I get a bad service one time, it just automatically sticks that, oh, the name of the business is shabby, and then the service or product is shabby as well. So you need to be intentional in the name of your business name. It's also very important that you name your business something that you're not Apple. Like, Apple has billions, trillions of dollars to sell a narrative behind why their name is called Apple, because Apple, and then even at that, there's a story behind why they called it Apple, right? This is Nigeria. Make sure one set of people that I respect so much is Igbo people. They will tell you Emeka and Sons Furniture Company. That's the name. You cannot miss it. You already know the name of the owner of the business. His name is Emeka. Is the name of his son. His son is part of the business, and they are into furniture. You cannot miss it. So even when it comes down to your business name, you need to think very well about it. You need to consider it as well. So remember what I said earlier about what your competition is doing and how many businesses they are competing with. And the story I told you about the relative who was selling drinks like everybody was selling, but had a snooker business to go with it. The unique selling point was we sell cold drinks that you can enjoy while you play snooker, or you can play snooker and then enjoy cold drinks while at it. That's the unique selling point. If they say, "Oh, let's go and drink," they say, "Where do you want to go and drink?" "Let's go to so person to go and drink." Why? Because, "Oh, why can't we go and drink in so person's place?" They say, "Does the so person have snooker?" No, that's the unique selling point. So your business has to have a unique selling point. Your unique selling point could either be maybe your packaging, maybe the fact that when everybody's doing 3-day delivery, you're doing same-day delivery. Maybe it's your color, maybe it's the customer experience, maybe there's something different about it. I have this guy that I buy clothes from, and I have a couple of plugs that I get my clothes from. But this guy has been taking most of my money. Like, he has been taking most of my money in the last couple of months, because what he does is, whenever I buy something and I get some pieces for him and he delivers to me, he always adds an extra 1 or 2 pieces of clothing. Maybe a pair of socks, maybe belts, maybe a face cap. There's always something extra. The last one that he did was, apart from the extra clothes that he added, he also included a note. And I was like, so tell me why, if I have money to buy if I want to buy some clothes, I won't go back to this guy, because his unique selling point is his customer experience. It's not like every other person does not have clothes, but he has impeccable customer experience. So let's move forward. Shoot your shots everywhere. This one speaks to leveraging the different marketing channels so you can increase sales. We all know how marketing and sales work hand in hand. If your marketing is great, then sales automatically is going to flow. Now, this is 2024. There are so many different channels, so many different ways. You need to be able to integrate online and offline marketing so that you can create a cohesive brand experience. And I'm going to explain. For example, let's start with social media. Like I said, this speaks to shooting your shot everywhere. As you're shooting your shot on social media, make sure that your customer service is impeccable. Make sure that you are engaging your community. Make sure that your signboard or your signage or whatever, make sure that it's like popping and all that. Now, there are platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. One mistake that I see a lot of business owners do is they focus mostly on Instagram. I know, yes, because of the demography, that's where most of the target audience is. But that's not even true. Facebook is the bigger market. When it comes to Facebook and Instagram, Facebook has a big, there are way more people on Facebook. I'm not saying you should ditch Instagram or Facebook. I'm saying try and make as much noise on these platforms. So make sure you use platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. Use it to showcase your products. Use it to engage with customers or prospective customers. Use it to run targeted ads. You don't have to run targeted ads on all these platforms. Twitter, for example, is very good at engagements, right? You can engage on Twitter, have one-on-one conversations, and all of that. TikTok is like a marketplace at this point. There are all kinds of people, all sorts of things on TikTok. Why are you not creating content to showcase your brand or your service or your product on TikTok? So shoot your shot on social media. Also, if you have a website, one of the things that websites help you do is it gives credibility. If they say, "Oh, what do you do?" I help people clean their homes. People will say, "I help people to clean their homes," or "I help people to fumigate." If people fumigate their homes, it means that they have to leave you in the house for you to fumigate, right? But this is Nigeria. Nobody trusts the second person anymore. But with a website, you have some sort of credibility. On your website, there are testimonials. The person can say, "Okay, these are customers, or these are people who have worked with this person. It means that I can trust this person." And then with the website, you can also share like detailed information about your business, your products, your contact details. Email marketing is one other thing that a lot of people do. I don't know, maybe they don't know about it or they just sleep on it, but they don't do it. You can build an email list so that when you have new stock, right, new stock, product updates, valuable content, you can share via email. I mentioned earlier, also invest in the look and feel of your store. If you have a brick and mortar store, you can invest in signage on that. Also, community engagement. You can sponsor local events like yard sales and activities that will bring people together to be able to interact one-on-one with your business. Participate in trade shows, and because that gives you an opportunity to network with other businesses, and then also network with other businesses that one thing that I like, once again, Igbo business people for is the network. The business network is so strong. If you don't have something in that shop, you rarely find an Igbo person that lets you leave the shop without buying. If you go to social person shop and they don't have it, they'll tell you, I get that for my other shop, my brother's shop. Make I call my brother, I go bring them. Next thing, they're calling the next person who is going to bring it. And that can only happen when you network with other businesses that either do the same thing as you or provide a service that can aid your business. As someone who sells skincare products, or you sell clothes, or maybe fashion accessories, or even food, you can network with a business that is into logistics. You partner with them, you come up with ideas on how to ensure that as your customer is buying, they don't have to pay for dispatch. You're not saying, okay, yeah, send your dispatch to pick it up. You just say, okay, we're buying, we'll connect you to our food vendor, or it's going to cost you so amount for delivery. You are saving the customer a lot of stress by helping them go through all of that stress. Next, customer service. You go into some stores and the person that is welcoming you is already frowning at you. You not even feel welcome there. All you just want to do is leave because you just look like, this person has attitude. Maybe the person is having a bad day, but customer service is important. Or somebody asks you a question on Instagram, hi, do you have these products? And the way you are responding to the person is very rude. Like, please don't ask me any question. If you cannot, can you read English? Can you not see that it's already on the answer them? I always say that the best business people are the ones who are not afraid to answer stupid questions. Your customer wants to ask you stupid questions. As long as the outcome is income, answer the stupid question. Like they say, customer is king. Although that statement is incomplete, but just for context, anything that your customer says is okay. Yes, even when I apologize. I understand that some customers can be overbearing and can overstep their boundaries and be a handful, but you also need to understand how to navigate that space. You need to understand people management, because once again, it's not you that is looking for money. You that is looking for money now. You're the one that has the business that is making this customer come to you. So, also need to train your staff to deliver exceptional service. You need to train your staff. Even you can't be selling a business and not know about the business. I was reading a story over the weekend on social media. Somebody went into an Apple store and wanted to buy a laptop, and the person that was trying to sell the laptop to him didn't even have enough information about the product that he or she wants to sell. It's like going into a hospital and you tell the doctor that you have that you're feeling something, and the doctor is calling someone over the phone. Yes, the patient says he has this thing. What do you think can be? Okay, what medicine can the person take? If the person's eye is pale, what do you think? Like, you have to be knowledgeable about your business. Your staff, your customer reps have to be knowledgeable about the business. They have to have a positive attitude to work. You have to also understand that the way you might be having a bad day is the same way the customer might be having a bad day. So with all of these things, this shooting your shot on social media, shooting your shot offline, shooting your shots with customer service, shooting your shots with yard sales, plug yourself in as many opportunities as possible. Explore partnerships, collaborate, create platforms that will help you sell your products. I go on social media and I see, every now and then you see this person in business is saying, okay, you know what, I want to do don't wait till Black Friday to do your own Black Friday. If you have things that you want to clear out, come up with a name for it and say everything must go. So day, right? There are so many different ways that you can do things. Look, you can also I have a friend who's into let's say, for example, baby products, right? Mother's Day, come up with ideas. You're speaking to mothers, right? Come up with ideas on how you can plug into Mother's Day. You have to do research. You need to know what's going on in the world. You need to be on top of the trend. Like as Lai will say that info lay off info. It means it's information that will open the door for you, right? Get as much information as you can. You have to be very creative. You cannot go into a business. You cannot want to run a successful business and not be creative. I hear people say a lot of the time, oh, I'm not creative. My social media, This is 2024. There are tools that can help you come up with content. There are tools that can help you write your email. I'm guessing that the person who's going to take the session tomorrow will do a quick demonstration of how to use AI to write content, how to use AI to write ads, and come up with interesting stuff for you. You can even build your website yourself. Just put some efforts. Burna Boy said, Dangote still dey find money. And so who am I that I'm not look for money? Dangote is perhaps the most successful business person in Africa. But he's still grinding like his life depends on it. He keeps shooting his shots. Moving on. Double your hustle. One interesting thing is that all of it, there are so many. If you look at everything that I've spoken about, from leveraging the different channels that are available to you, making sure that your business or your brand has a story, has a why. That why is why people will keep coming to you. Understanding your audience, minding your business. Everything that I've listed out are boxes that there are things that you can use to evaluate your business and say, okay, have I embraced social media? Yes. Do I have a website? I don't need a website. Okay, I can leave it. Email marketing. Is my signage catchy enough? When people come into my store and they want to take pictures, for content's sake, do I have like a light something? Like, it has to be catchy. What platforms exist that I've plugged into? Is my customer service good? So the way I've done this document is I'm also going to share it at the end of this session, so you can also use it as a guide for yourself. Now, there's no one size fits all, and then you don't just say, I'm successful, so I'm going to stop working, or I'm going to stop putting in the effort. You have competition. If you stop putting in the effort, your competition is going to come and swallow you up. Coca-Cola and Pepsi are the two highest selling beverages in the world, but their marketing budget every year is ridiculous. They might not do promotions, but you will always see them. They will always be in your face. So moving on, double your hustle. It's always good to keep record. Personally, I rely a lot on data. I rely a lot on data in the sense that or last month, what did I sell? What what day of the month, or what day or what week do I sell the most? Okay, I've seen the trends that people buy the most in the first week of the month and last week of the month, probably because that's when they receive salary. So maybe it's during that period that I should double my hustle, because I know people will have money during that period. So you track your marketing performance and then make adjustments based on that. Okay, when it comes to the middle of the month, third week of the month, people usually don't have money. Maybe during that period, I should do a clearance sale, or I should do a price reduction. I should introduce a maybe I should introduce a limited and exclusive promo where people can take item and pay for it 3 times. Because if you don't lock that item with at least 20% of the payment, they don't have 100% of the payment, but they might be able to afford 20% of the payment. So let me take that 20% so that when they have money, they can pay the remaining. So you have to rely on numbers. You have to watch how your business runs. Okay, what time of the day do I receive the most calls? At what time of the day do people DM me on Instagram the most? In the evening, right? Evening/night. Maybe around the evening is when I should start doing my posting. Maybe I can do Instagram live or TikTok live around that period. So I can do a live auction and people can buy during that period. When you track all these things, you know how to move. So you need to stay informed on the latest trends. Marketing keeps changing. It was funny that during the last BB Niger, there was a Titus ad, and everybody was talking about it. Titus had to come out to do an ad because they realized that there are so many other brands. They had to switch up. They had to switch up their game and all that. So keep yourself updated on the newest strategy, technology. What's the latest way people are selling? What's the latest kind of content? Now people are somersaulting in their content. Okay, you know what? Let me somersault in my content because that's what is trending. But what's it? Oh, what do people wear now? Oh, people don't wear pencil jeans anymore. People are wearing baggy jeans. Okay, let me clear my stock and upgrade my stock to baggy jeans so that I can attract buyers. So you need to stay informed on the trend. You need to stay on top of the trends. You need to have binoculars so you can see far ahead. Then also don't be afraid to experiment. Okay, let me try this. Let me try that. Let me see what works. Okay, I noticed that when I started adding drinks to I noticed that when I started adding drinks to small shops, people started buying and all that. Let me tell you a story of Orbit. This Orbit chewing gum that we all chew now. The name of the company that owns Orbit is Wrigley. So when our business started, the business started out as a pot shining company. People used to bring their pots. They will bring it to a Wrigley warehouse, and then Wrigley to shine the pot for them and give the pot back to them. And then you know the way you walk into a store and then there's a bowl of sweets on the table. So they had a bowl of chewing gum. So when you shine your pot, they give you one chewing gum. And then they now realize that for every time there's no chewing gum and people come, first thing they ask, oh, I have chewing gum. Oh, you don't have chewing gum. Oh, I want to shine pot to pots. Can I buy chewing gum? Can you sell to me? And then they realized that people were actually wanting to buy that chewing gum. And then they closed down the pot business and then started selling gum. Then one day they decided to take a very big risk. They stopped selling completely. But then they put up billboards all over the city with the wrapper of the chewing gum saying, don't forget this product, or don't forget this brand or something. And then they kept advertising, don't forget this. But what they were doing in that time was to formulate their products, create a better chewing gum product. And at the time that they launched, they just took over the markets. I don't know if there's a bigger selling competition out there right now, but that happened because they were able to test, to look at what works, to look at, okay, so let's experiment. This is what works. All right, let's do it, and all that. Lastly, for double your hustle, invest in your brand, invest in your packaging, Invest in the products that you post. Invest in your customer experience. Invest in your shop. Let your shop be conducive for people to come and sit down. So you are selling clothes, but when you are selling clothes, but the place is hot when people come in. When people feel uncomfortable, they go. You're selling stuff online, but you don't have good pictures. How will people buy? Invest in it. And that's the thing about investment. Investments are meant to bring returns. So if you have a strong identity, a strong brand identity, you have a strong customer experience and all these things, people will definitely come. People will definitely stay. It's going to bring trust because they will trust you, and loyalty is just the icing on the cake, because once people are loyal to you, it doesn't matter if the next guy has 1 million, they'll always come to you because their experience with you is much better. Now, speaking of experience, you have to give your customer the best experience that they can get anywhere. Now, what do I mean? The way people use social media is different. Most of the time, when most people wake up, first thing that they do is to check their phone before they even pray. As they wake up like this, they first check their phone. They'll check who left me messages, what's happening on Instagram, or they take at least a couple of minutes to do that. You need to understand what your customer, like how your customer interact with your business. Okay, so they go on Instagram. Sometimes I go on an Instagram page and I just scroll. I've not liked anything. Next thing, I've gotten a DM from the owner of the business. Hi, I see you are interested in our business. What would you like to purchase from us? And I'm like, wow, that's great. That's fantastic. Because even if after I have left your page and I get that message, I open that message, what that person has done is to successfully bring me back to their page where I can now check to see if there are things that I'm interested in. So yes, you need to visualize the steps that your ideal customer makes when interacting with your business. How did you find? And that's why sometimes you see surveys like, how did you find out about us? You get from purchase to discovery to beyond. Also, customer feedback is good. Ask questions, run polls on social media. Do you like this design? What design and what design? Should we do a this? Should we do a that? Like, get feedback before you do some things, and then even after you take certain steps, also ask to know if it's things that your customers would like to see again. You can even, through actual just simple conversations with customers, you can reach out to them every now and then. Sometimes DSTV reaches out, although I hate those phone calls. They reach out and say, hi, they just want to know how the service is going. Are you happy with the service or something? Sometimes I purchase a product and they find out about the service that I have received, or if the customer service person did a great job. And all of these are things that will help you to understand your customer, understand their needs, understand their expectations, understand things that you can do to make their experience better, right? Also, ensure that when they go on anywhere that your store is. One time I saw an ad on Instagram because I love shoes, and the person did an ad for shoes. By the time I clicked on the page, on the Instagram page, the whole place was black. And I was like, the whole place was black. So you have to click on the individual posts to see the shoe that is inside. It was just so weird for me. Like, nobody has time for this. I want to open your Instagram page and see at a glance what it is that you offer. In fact, some smart people have gone far ahead to in each of the posts. You are not only going to see the products, you see the price, you see the size. So you don't even have to waste your time. They understand that attention span is very short. People don't have time to waste. People don't have the data to waste. People have other important things to do. As you are checking Instagram for shoes, that's the same time that I'm telling you that Very Dark Man is online. So what will people do? Immediately they'll click on Very Dark Man's life. They've forgotten about your business. So at a quick glance, when you understand the customer, you understand that there's no time. You'll be able to curate your online presence for that. You want people to check your website. How many people check websites on computers? Everybody's mobile these days. Your website has to be optimized for mobile devices. Also, Sometimes you ask some vendors, "Hi, do you have this one available?" The vendor will not respond until after 3 days. The vendor will not respond until evening. As I'm asking you, I don't respond. I'm going to look for another vendor that has that thing. You don't know, maybe it's something that I urgently need. So respond promptly to comments, messages, answer questions, and also put up, engaging contents that you know that your audience will, like. Also, if you have a store, you can also, I've mentioned this like 2 or 3 times in this session. Make sure that the environment is welcoming. Make sure that it is organized. Make sure that your staff, they are friendly, not just friendly, they are helpful. And then be honest with your customers. Be transparent about pricing. Be transparent about product details. Be transparent about delivery timelines. I see this a lot with some of these businesses online that are into lottery thrift or even just thrift. They'll tell you the product may have 1 or 2 scratches, so that when you buy it, it's not be a case of, oh, why did they not tell me? Let them know, if you buy this product, you will not be able to get it until after 3 days. I don't want to pay for the product and then after I've sent you my money, you now say you receive your product on so day. Be upfront about it. Let the customer know that they can trust you. Trust is like one of the most important factors. And then this might be subjective. Personally, I don't believe in no refund. Like, if I haven't seen no refund, I'm immediately going to close your page, because it just goes to show that if there's any lapse on your end, I cannot trust you to change the item for me. They'll say, oh, because no refund. And a lot of vendors use that into their advantage. It's possible that you sold me a defective product and then you say there's no refund. What I do is, maybe because I like Igbo businesses so much, the average Igbo person will never let you leave. They will rather give you something else that is value for your money and for them to give you their money. So why don't you propose better value than say no refund and the customer should suck it up? What happens is that's the end of it. The easiest way to grow your business is word of mouth. The easiest way to destroy your business is by word of mouth. Once people know that, oh, this guy has bad attitude, even the people that have not patronized you, they say, I didn't know this person. They say, yes, I heard that she has bad attitude. Lastly, online reviews. Smart business people, you go on their websites, even down to Dangote, down to GT websites, you see testimonials. Engage your satisfied customers. Tell them to, okay, please, can you do a video, testimonials. They give you feedback. Take those testimonials, post it on your social media, so that once people open your page, people visit your store, what you're saying is positive reviews. What that does is it will just help people feel comfortable enough to say, okay, yes, people usually have good experience about this guy. It's the same on Uber. That's why you have a star rating. You get a driver and the driver is rating is 2.2 stars. You just know that this one can beat you up. If you tell him to turn on the AC, you rather look for a driver that has at least 4 stars. The same way you are rating those drivers, the same way they rate you. If a driver sees that, oh, this person has 1.8 star, they'll say this one is going to delay you, or you take the ride and you don't want to pay. So encourage positive online reviews. They go a long way. It's been a very short 1 hour, but in Yoruba they say Ajiawa. Ajiawa means business will come. Thank you everybody for listening. I hope I've been able to, I hope this session is going to leave you with more knowledge that you came with this session. So we have 30 minutes for questions. So if you have questions, feedback, please let me know. I'm here to answer your questions for the next 30 minutes. This is the part where we start to gist to each other. So let's interact. If you also have, problems, you can, like I promised in my video, tell me right here, we'll solve it for you. We'll come up with ideas on how to increase sales. Thank you, everybody. So it's time for questions and feedback and all that. So let's hear it, guys. And you can also leave your questions in the chat box. Still waiting for your questions. So while we wait for your questions, I'll just give you a quick story of something that happened with one of the business owners who reaches out every now and then for guidance. So this person is into skincare, and then she reached out and said, "Oh, how do I get people to, how do I increase sales? How do I have more customers and all that?" Then I went and did a quick research and realized that there are so many people who are into skincare on social media. But if you remember, one thing I mentioned earlier is to always stay on top of trends. Then I also remembered that I had started seeing conversations around men talking about skincare. So one of the feedback I gave to the person was, you know what, why don't you start to curate content around, products for men? Nobody is really speaking to men like that. And the person's business just took off. So she went from being just an Instagram vendor to having an actual store where men come to buy. Right. So Rofia is asking, what kind of content should a solar/inverter company post to increase sales? That's a very good question, and it's an easy question again, because we all live in Nigeria. We know how much people spend on electricity, how much people spend to buy fuel to power their gens. So some content ideas, I would say, one, product education. Product education in terms of, a lot of people, some people don't know that this solution exists. So you want to first of all educate them on how much. For example, you can do a content that speaks to how much money you can save. How much money you can save when you power your home or your business with solar energy or using inverter. You can have that. You can do content saying this based on how many kVA, or based on the power of the inverter. This is how many devices you can do. If I were the owner of the business, I'll do a lot of interesting content. For example, I can say, let's see how many phones a 1 kVA inverter can charge, and I'll get as many phones as I can, and I will keep plugging to see until maybe just interesting content. So like somebody is saying in there, you can the value, right? If I'm using inverter or I'm using solar, this is how much I get to save, right? This is what it does for my business. When national grid goes off, you can stay on its value. I don't have to spend money on fuel. When there's fuel scarcity, that's value. And then also look at the economy again. Like I said, you can also come up with content that helps people to pay instrumentally, like Michelle has said, because of the opportunity. You can even show people DIY. You can come up with different kinds of inverter, and just Rofia, I would actually like to put together a small content plan for you. So I'll share my email after this session, and they can send me a mail so we can talk more. Right. Sekinat is asking, She says, I'm into hair business, so I really find out. I'm guessing you're saying you want to find out how to make more sales on TikTok and Instagram. So how do I go about it to increase sales? Let me read the question again. How I really find out to make sales on TikTok and Instagram. How do I go about sales? Well, if I hear your question correctly, is you want to find out how to increase sales for your hair business. So for your hair business, do you sell hair? Do you make hair? I think you just give me some clarity. I don't know, just so I know exactly what I'm dealing with. Ikuru is saying, in the skill acquisition business where majority of youth have difficulties to invest in themselves as a startup, how can you get trainees without government or politicians sponsorship? In a skill acquisition business where majority of youth they have difficulty to invest in themselves, how can you get trainees without government or politician sponsorship? Okay. I see what you mean. So I would say that you can, and the answer is it might be a little similar to one of the things that was mentioned to the person who is into the inverter and solar business. You can come up with a plan for them, right? This is what I would do. I can say, you know what, I don't have money. You don't have money to pay to enjoy this thing, but if I teach you for free, I will maybe take 10% of your future earnings for the next 1 year, 2 years or so. Companies like or schools, I think is one of the things that Andela does. So you get an Andela scholarship. I don't know if you pay or if it's highly subsidized, but when they teach you, they teach you this skill and then sign a deal. So they even get you jobs and take a percentage of your salary. So from there, you are guaranteed that you are obviously going to recoup your money, and then even some, because it's an investment. You are investing your time, you're investing knowledge, you're investing resources, and then you have to get your money back one way or the other. So that's one way that you can do. Or after you train them, if you don't want to get them jobs, you can employ them and get them to work for you for a certain number of years. It's just like the Umaboy or Igbo system. So you serve your master for like 7 years, and at the end of the 7 years, then they pay you off. I hope I've been able to answer your question. Sekinat, I'm still waiting for you to clarify whether you sell hair or make hair. But well, if you sell hair, this is what I'll say. How can you go about to increase sales? If you sell hair, you can do promos. You can do giveaway. There's a part of marketing called incentive marketing, which, although it works, but I really don't like it as much, because if you don't do it very well, people will just take what you're giving away and go away and not come back, right? You can run giveaways. For example, if you watch some of these fintech companies, so what they do is, beyond every other marketing thing that they do, they'll say download something and win 100,000 naira, or post a picture of your Smartpreneur app and win 5,000 naira. So what happens is people will download the Smartpreneur app now, and then maybe you tell them to use it, and then they win the 5,000 naira. Are you going to pay them to keep using it? So there again, understanding your customer, understanding your target audience is what's going to help you to come up with this. Okay, yes. So, Sekinat, she said what I meant is I sell hair and I make hair. So basically, I don't make sales on TikTok and Instagram. So how do I increase my sales on those apps? Well, I like to think that I've answered your question anyway. So you sell hair, right? And you don't make sales. Again, promo, right? one, show a lot of people. You can do a lot of, okay, this is how I make my hair, this is how, or this is where I get my hair from, this is how we saw. There's this lady who put up some content. I don't know her, but I just came across the content. Like, she went as far as showing people where she goes to source her human hair, to show that it is actual human hair that she pays for. She showed where she was cutting off their hair and, you know, packaging the hair. So you can do that. You can show people, okay, this is how we make our hair, this is the quality of our hair. Between Friday 5 p.m. to Friday 9 p.m., any order comes with a free revamp session, right? So there are things that you can add to what you're selling. If you buy this hair and get two free hair revamp, or buy the hair, you get a free wig oil. I don't know if there's such a thing as wig oil or wig whatever. But when you add value to what you're selling, like, again, incentive, add a little incentive to it, and then people will come. Again, price, right? I don't know the marketing strategy that you've employed. I don't know the kind of people that follow you on TikTok and these platforms. Look at people that follow you on TikTok. You'll be able to know if they are the kind of people that can afford your product. I understand that there's a lot of packaging. Maybe you're not making sales because the people that are following you are the people that cannot afford your products, right? So you either need to come up with something that they can afford, come up with, as not feasible as it sounds. It's just an example. Maybe some payment plan that, okay, you know what, if you can be paying 5k every month for so you get a week or something, right? Somebody is saying, for someone who's about to launch a hair care product business, what's the best way to start promoting my business? Also, how can I build trust between my potential customers and myself, seeing that hair care is quite sensitive? Okay, so you want to launch a hair care product business. What's the best way to start promoting your business? I would say online and offline, right? Offline, you can start going to salons or hair salons, right? You can interact with those guys. Remember what I said about word of mouth. Word of mouth. You can even get them. Let's say it is a hair cream that you're launching, right? You can say, hey, I'm launching this product. This is the product. You don't have to buy it. I'm just going to give it to you to try it for free. Or I want you to try this shampoo. And I'm guessing that you've already done your due diligence before that. The formulation of the shampoo is good. It's not going to get the person's scalp to be flaky. The person's hair is not going to break and all. So offline, you speak to the people who can directly influence the sales of this, because it's when people go to make their hair, they will tell them, oh, have you tried this shampoo? Let me recommend this shampoo. Your hair breaking, or try this shampoo. So you can do that on that level offline. Online, a lot of content is also going to help, right? You can go as far back as showing the process that you used to make your hair products, right? Process. Ask people to say, oh, you want to give out 10 free products to the first something customers. Get them to do something. Let them be the one that will test it. So if you give out the product to them, they will be the ones to do a testimonial. For example, there's a blender brand. There's a blender brand that reached out to a loved one some time ago, and what they really wanted to do was, they know the person posts a lot of food content, and they're about to launch it in the market, and they send the person the free blender, say, hey, use it for your free content, and post the video and tag us. After the first video that the person posted, the person did the unboxing, made a meal, blended beans and all of that. Like, sales started going up immediately. So and that's why you see that a lot of brands also use influencers or brand ambassadors. The whole idea of brand ambassadors, it sounds like a big deal, but you can literally have brand ambassadors for your hair product. You can say, so this product is launching. I want to have our first set of 10 brand ambassadors who will receive these products for free or at half price for the next 1 year. If you want to be part of these people, do this. They understand the value that they're getting. So these products originally goes for 5K, but if you're signing up to our brand ambassador program, you get this for 2K or something. Just incentive again. Let people feel like they're getting all this. Also, to the second leg of your question, how can I build trust between my potential customers and myself, seeing that hair care is quite expensive? Right now, Rihanna launched a Fenty, right? Rihanna in her Fenty line has launched a hair care line, so to speak. And the video that she posted yesterday, rather, was her using I don't know if it's a relaxer or conditioner, was her actually using it, right? So people need to know that, okay, if Rihanna can use this product and not be afraid that her hair will spoil, that means that I can use it. So you need to practice what you preach. You want people to trust your products, do it. Use it by yourself, right? That's one way that I can build some trust. And again, if you look at some of these products, like relaxers, for example, they write no lie, no LYE. Anybody, I'm sure you are familiar with relaxers. Lie is, I don't know, maybe it's a chemical that damages hair or it makes the owner of the hair sick or something. But you also need to call out those things for them to know that, okay, this thing is not harmful. You need to get them to use it. You need to get them to see you use it. You can also do tests. You can say, I want to do a free. You remember what I said earlier about partnering with people in your line of business. You can partner with a hairdresser who is trying to get people to come to our store and reach out to the hairdresser and say, hey, I want to get some customers. Are you interested in collaborating with me on this? Let people come and do their hair for free, and then you use this product. So what that does is they're not only getting their hair done for free, the hairdresser is also getting new customers, and these people are also getting to try out your products too. From there, word of mouth, you get them to do content. I also mentioned positive reviews. So as the hairdresser is doing their hair, they are blogging the whole thing on social media, they're posting it on their page. Hey guys, so person has done this. I won this free hair session using so products. Oh yes, this product is actually good. Those are some of the ways that you can do that. But you have to be consistent with it. Remember that this journey for sales or marketing is not a one-day thing. It's something that you need to keep doing. You need to keep doing it. It might be expensive, either financially, attention-wise, or even time-consuming, but you have to put some energy into it. You need to keep making noise about it. First of all, you make noise, you're a noise maker, but you keep making your noise, and then people already know what you are making noise about. They'll be like, oh, is that girl that's always making noise about so this thing? And then you keep making your noise, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's even try out this thing that this person is even saying. So from discovery of your brand to engaging your brand, right? It's a journey that you need to keep making that noise. I don't know if I've been able to answer your question. Aderogba Kodri asked, he says, I make toilet paper. Please, how can I increase my sales? That's an interesting question. I mean, you can do online content, maybe 100 things you can use tissue paper for, and then show 100 things you can use tissue paper for in the bathroom, in whatever it is. And then you can also start to speak to the local businesses around you that have toilets. Go to Chicken Republic, they have a lot of chicken. Go to Chicken Republic, go to everywhere that has a toilet, even. And if you want to do sampling and say, hey, I'm launching this tissue paper brand, I want you to test it out. I'll just give you this one so you get the feel of it. You can give out, product testing so you see what it's like. And then you can also try and give them price that will make them come back. I think that's one very simple way I think that's one very simple way that can increase your price, that can increase sales. Then also go to your local stores, right? Speak to your local stores. Find out how much I get. Again, all of these questions that everybody is asking is literally tied to everything that we mentioned. Know what competition is doing. Know what competition is saying. How much are you selling your product? How much is competition selling that product? So if you find out how much maybe Rose or Bella is selling, you can go to the store owner and say, I want you to try out this product, or I want you to give out 10 of this product. If people buy these products, they get this tissue paper for free. You can do that. And then tell them to, or get them to, let you stock up their shelves with your product, and then they either get it at a reduced rate from you or something. Again, remember, the same way that you want the outcome to be income is the same way that the store wants the outcome to be income. So you do this for local stores, shopping plazas, hotels, Airbnbs, shortlets, and all that. You do this for all of them, and you're good. Adero Bakodri, I hope I've answered your question. So I'm going to, I said I was going to share my email address. First of all, I think I can click on this button to share it. Okay, yes. So I've shared a link to the documents that everybody can download. Remember, use it as a manual, use it as a guide. Use it as boxes to tick. So have I done this? Follow all of that. And I'm also sharing my email address like I promised. So you can send me emails if you have questions. I'm going to give out free 1 hour one-on-one business consultation sessions to 10 people in this webinar. So the first 10 people to send me an email about just the first 10 people to send me an email. What should be in the email is what your business is or what your business need is. All the information I need to have about your business, name of your business, your social media platforms that I can find your business, and then your business needs. Let me know. I'm going to give 10 people 1 hour each free consultation. Can't believe we've been talking for 1 hour and 23 minutes. We still have 7 minutes more. So if you have any other questions, please, now is the time to ask your questions. All right. If there are no questions, maybe we should share the grace. I'm going to allow another 1 minute. I don't see a question, then I think we can just end the call. Thank you, Olubumi Shimoyan. God has blessed you greatly, sir. Amen. Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Odusola.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Michelle. Good afternoon. How are you?
All right. Very well, thank you, sir. I just want to say thank you very much for the session. It was quite insightful and very educative. Thank you so very much. And then thank you also for the gift. I hope that I get to be one of the winners of the free 1 hour consultation. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's unfortunate that some people are just joining. Well, if you're just joining, unfortunately, I have finished my presentation, but I have dropped the link to the presentation in the message section, so you can click on it to also learn although there are a lot of details that you might not be able to to see in the presentation, you can also just read up and do some research. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Tomorrow promises to be an interesting session as well, as you'll be learning like digital marketing, tactics and interesting ways that you can use to increase sales for your business. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest.